Evening, everyone. Well, if you remember, in True Blood, Bill was being taken off to stand trial. And at the end of that episode, Sam had been turned into a dog's form, and then wakes up at the end of Sookie's bed. Well, that starts out the show. Sam wakes up; he's naked at the end of Sookie's bed, but then he has to admit to her that he's a shapeshifter, right? And he can become like a dog or a cat or a bird or different things like that. And they also get talking about the different things that are around, like werewolves, and he starts telling her about all the different things that she doesn't want to hear about, and kind of freaks out a little bit. And then Tara May, remember, she wants to be exorcised. When she goes to see this exorcist, the same woman gives her the $800, drinks this stuff, and it makes her sick. And the very next day, she's in the store, and her mother she feels so good about being exercised that she goes and sees her mother, and her mother and her go out to eat, and she eats some bad crawfish, right, and gets sick. So they go to like a CVS or whatever, and who do you think's working at the CVS but the exorcist woman? So Tara May gets real mad at her and everything, and she shows up at Marlene's wedding. Remember Marlene? She's a red-headed woman who works at Sam's bar. Well, she's getting married, and they've set up the bar for Marlene to get married there. Now, Amy and Jason, remember, they've kidnapped that vampire, and they've been soaking his blood. Well, Jason's been kind of making friends with him and stuff, and bringing him True Blood so he can eat and all that. But Amy doesn't really want that very much. She convinces Jason that the Stockholm syndrome will take over soon, and that he will want to be part of the family and everything. But her real motivation is she wants to get rid of him. And anyway, they're at the wedding, Marlene's wedding, and Lafayette shows up, the fellow who had been taking blood from this fellow, the vampire that they kidnapped, and he tells Jason, I'm not going to be one of the dead bodies that shows up around you, man. You're gonna let my vampire go, right? So Jason goes back to let him go, and Amy gets pissed off and picks up a big piece of wood and shoves it into the vampire's chest, and it all explodes and stuff, starts flying around the place. Meantime, back at the trial that Bill's on with this like head vampire, right? Well, Eric's kind of speaking up for him and saying, well, the guy he killed was stealing from me and everything. And the lead vampire says, well, the usual thing is we put you in a coffin for 3 years, tie it up with silver chains, and you don't feel very comfortable for 3 years, and then we'll let you out after that. But he says, I'm feeling a little creative tonight, and they pull this car up, and there's this young woman in the back of it. And they bring her out, and he says, you've never made anyone, so we want you to make this woman into a vampire. So the show kind of ends up with Bill giving in and grabbing this woman and young girl and in her 20s or so, and bites her in the neck, and everyone's like gathering around, and he's going to make her into a vampire solely because he wants to go back and be with Sookie and have their normal life together. And that's the kind of the end of the show for this evening. I shortened it up I tried to make it real as quick as I can because it's hard to keep people's attention if it runs real long. And Entourage is coming out in a few minutes, and I want to go watch it. I appreciate your participation, and I will thank you for anyone who comes by to watch, and I hope you enjoy my little synopsis of True Blood for this evening. And try to catch a show during the week. They play it often enough. They play it on Wednesday evening for sure. See y'all later. Bye.